And welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be discussing something that keeps coming up over and over again, and that is the idea of estate planning. Now, so many of us know how important estate planning is, but we take estate planning, we put it on the back burner. We know that it's something that's important, but gosh, it might cost me a lot of money. It's something that's going to be causing me to have awkward conversations with people. I just don't know what to do. Well, estate planning is important, but I just don't want to do it right now. And yet, estate planning doesn't have to be sitting down with the attorney per se and getting your household in order. Estate planning actually doesn't begin with an attorney. Estate planning actually begins with your retirement accounts. It actually begins with your life insurance accounts. It begins with your bank accounts. One of the things that seems to come up from time to time as an advisor or fiduciary when I'm sitting down with people is beneficiary designations. Now, people have kind of a loose interpretation of beneficiaries, just basically saying, okay, well, these are the people that are going to get my money when I die. But rarely do they understand that beneficiary designations are one of the paramount foundations of estate planning. And the reality is that if you have an account that has your name on it, and that account has the opportunity of designating a beneficiary or a recipient of this money at the time of your death, and you're not using that, you're not utilizing that opportunity, then you're missing out. And you're creating potential hardships for a surviving spouse, for surviving children, for surviving grandchildren alone. So I don't care. It could be a bank. It could be a bank account. It could be a CD. It could be a life insurance policy. It could be an annuity. It could be a bond, a U.S. Treasury note. It could be a brokerage account. Anything that has your name on it that actually has the ability of holding cash value, instruments, investments, those are things that you should be absolutely making certain that you have beneficiaries on. Now, beneficiaries are going to come in basically two different titles. The first is going to be what's referred to as the primary beneficiary. The second one is going to be considered the contingent beneficiary. Now, the primary beneficiary doesn't have to be just one person. I have 4 kids. If I wanted to take this account that I have and I want to make all 4 of my children primary beneficiaries, I can do that. That way, by listing out their name, their date of birth, their social security number, and the percentage that I want each one of them to receive when I die, I know that that money is then going to be spread 4 ways, the way and by percentage that I wanted it. Now, the second thing is we have to be thinking about beneficiary designations as the continuous of generations. What I mean by that is this. We know that, God forbid, we have the capability or the possibility, rather, that we could have a person or persons predecease us. It happens, unfortunately, all of the time. And it's not an expected thing. We don't expect a child to predecease us if we're the parent, but it happens. And this is the reason why we have secondary or contingent beneficiaries. And this is what I really want to stress today. This is a Latin term that is called per stirpes. And per stirpes is a legal term. It's a Latin term that says to follow the bloodline. So let's use an example. Let's say that I have this account and I want this account to go to my son and to my daughter. Now, if I have a son and a daughter and I list them as primary beneficiaries, well, guess what? When I die, that money is going to be divided 50-50. Now, this is going to be something called per capita or by head count. But what if I have a unique dynamic where my son happens to have 2 of his own kids? Now, I need to be thinking through this. I need to be thinking, well, what happens if my son were to predecease me, or my son and I are driving together and we both die in an automobile accident? What's going to happen to his share of the money? Well, if we have not listed any kind of a contingent upon the death of one of the primaries, or we have not used this terminology of per stirpes, which means to follow the bloodline, then what's going to happen is all of that money is then going to go to the daughter if it is per capita by head count, because there's only one left, or if I actually listed 50% to him and 50% to her specifically, then what's going to happen is she's going to get 50% and his 50% is going to go into his estate. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is that we all want to avoid something called probate. It's a big naughty word. And we know that probate takes time. Probate costs money. Probate gets attorneys involved generally. And so we can avoid all of this by just saying, I want my children per stirpes. I'm listing his name per stirpes. I'm listing her name per stirpes. And what this does is this automatically takes care of the problem for us. In the event that he dies, then his share is going to follow his bloodline, and it's going to go to his son, it's going to go to his daughter. It's going to go to my grandchildren. And guess what? Because it's not going into an estate, there's going to be no probate. It's going to go directly to his living heirs, my living heirs, the individuals that I deem getting this money to be in the best fashion. So the reality here is that estate planning doesn't have to be complicated. And of course, there's lots more to estate planning than just listing beneficiaries. But make certain that your 401ks and your 403bs, your annuities, your life insurance, even your bank accounts and your CDs have beneficiaries being listed. Go through them. It is your money, it is your responsibility, and it's something that's going to save your family a lot of heartache down the road. Well, I hope you liked this little video. I hope you learned a little something today. If you liked the video, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Share this with your friends. It's really basic information, but it's so important that we all follow this information. And if you like our little videos each week, hit that subscribe button, that little bell, and we'll notify you every time we have a new video. I'm Matthew Johnson. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's up to you to make today a great day.